today I wanted to take a couple minutes and show you how I made my jack and the winch on Landon's little Jeep, and then in the next couple days I hopefully will be posting a video of painting his Jeep, because I'm going to be painting it to match mine. That in case you're new to my page, but that's my Jeep there, and this is what my Jeep used to look like. I took a sticker off his seat the other day and ripped all the old paint off, but nonetheless, this is his high lift jack on the hood there, and then his little winch down there at the bottom. But as far as this high lift jack, it is very similar and setup to the normal. It's all made of wood. I had a friend of mine actually made that at the school that I teach at, and he actually I gave him my high lift jack, just asked him what he could do with it, so he said he could easily recreate that, and so he did. He really did an incredible job. As far as it's not functional, and in case you are watching these hoping that both the winch and the jack are functional, they really aren't. They're more for looks on his little Jeep, but it does, some of it is functional, some of it is not. So I'll just show you through a couple of the parts here on it though. As far as this the main post, or the main center part of it goes, he basically just took two pieces of wood, and you can see the split between the two pieces. He just routed right through the middle there, and then just nailed them or glued them together, and then just put that piece of wood right through there. So the piece of wood does actually slide up and down along the track like a normal jack would, and then with the piece of wood, he just ended up taking a router right down the middle here, and just to give it that little bit of a groove that the normal jack has, and he just used a drill press and drilled in all the holes there. As far as this is the one thing that's really not functional. I just bought a dowel rod for it. He drilled a hole, and it's about a 1/2 inch or 3/8 of an inch, to kind of show you the size of it in comparison to my hand. So this is pretty small, but it's about the exact same size, in comparison to my son's hands though. And so that's that. And then he just added some of these other parts just more for looks, to give it the typical look that the high lift jacks actually have. And they're just some bolts. I painted over some of the stuff, and then you got that. It's just a couple different pieces of wood there that he added to make it give it the actual lifting part of it. Then the bottom piece of it, and again, it's just a lot of it's real basic. The only thing is if you don't have a router, that's about the only thing, which you still could work without it. Just that router right through the middle there, and then down the middle here. But yeah, so all in all, it's a pretty basic little setup, and then I have the way it's mounted. It's mounted identically to how I have mine mounted for the most part on my Jeep, on one on both ends, just a bolt. And the way I have this set up is, if I lift this up, there's a bolt right here, and on both sides there's a bolt. You can see the pink from this Jeep used to be a Barbie Jeep, and I've painted it about 3 times now. We've had a rough summer with it, so we've scratched the paint up with it. Nonetheless, we can paint it. That's why we're painting it again. So the other side of it though, I just took another bolt and tightened it down onto that bolt with a washer, and then I used a couple of washers to lift it up a little, because otherwise it would be scraping on the hood here. And so that just elevates it a little off the hood there, and then just took a butterfly nut and threw the butterfly nut up on top. So that's the high lift jack there, and stuck on something. But then so it just kind of gives you a general idea of what that looks like. And then as far as the winch goes, I made this myself. It is functional to some extent, and then not to another extent. It has no motor to it. I'm sure I probably could search out and get a motor or something like that for it, but ultimately what I did down here with the winch is I took a block. It is actually connected, so it's going to be kind of hard for me to pull out. But all this really is just a little block. It's 3 pieces of wood, very cheaply made. I'm not a woodworker or woodsmith, whatever you call those guys. But I just took a little piece of block about 2 inch by 2 inch, and I just nailed that from the bottom side to another one that's about 2 inch by 10 inches. And you can kind of see it coming out the other end there. And then I just I drilled a hole right through the side of this piece, put a dowel rod. It's the same exact dowel rod I used on the high lift jack, because I made them both at the same time, or had them made. And but this one, like I said, I made this one as far as, so he could use it. You can see on my hand right here is turning. This is will actually turn it, and it depends on which way you're going with it. But so I just used green nylon rope, not nylon, that's the paracord, and to just wrap it up. I wrapped it up about 3 times there, and but on the inside you can kind of see how I had it set up, just to keep the dowel rod in there. I put a big washer and then just a screw through that, and that's what keeps the dowel from actually sliding out and the whole thing sliding apart. Drilled a little hole there. I don't think I want. Oh, I did actually go all the way through. So you can kind of see the other end there as to sort of what it looks like. So, like I said, all my stuff is not, I'm just kind of just working on a dime with most anything I do, whether it be my Jeep or this little Jeep here. It's not that I have any amount of money. This one took me a total of, hour or two to work on, but a total cost, it's whatever, $1 or $2, so not even hardly cost me anything at all. But I have it. I never really even mounted it much, but there are two screws that go through the Powerwheel right here, and it actually just perfectly met. I didn't even actually plan it that way. But if I push it under there, which I'm not right now because I'm working one-handed, but you can actually slide it right under there, and it'll kind of lock in on both sides over here. So that kind of keeps it in place when he's driving it around. The front side, all I did is I took that dowel rod again, and we have the front of the winch there, and so the fair lead, everything else. I just bought a little tiny hook, and so as you can see there, you got the little hook with the worn. I bought that. What?
My axe.
Oh, he wants me to show you guys his axe, so we'll also show you that. And anyway, so I just drilled a hole though, straight through here. And it's just one hole. This doesn't actually slide left and right. There's just one set hole there. I nailed in just a couple pieces of the dowel rods together, and then just spray painted those silver. I bought silver spray paint somewhere. I can't even remember where. And then I just have a screw there, and on the other side to just keep that in there. And that's actually mounted really well. Got the little worn sticker that I put on there. Just spray painted over that with like a gloss. And but yeah, so anyways, it's not tightened up right now, but it's pretty easy to tighten that up and to get it to look just like mine would. And mine's not, I get the back of my Jeep facing me right now, so I would show you what mine looks like, but it's pretty much exactly identical to mine, and for the most part. So those are those two, and really not much handiwork into, not too much, extreme handiwork into at least the winch, a little more into the jack. But since Landon wanted me to show you his axe, we'll show you his axe really quick. So here you go. His axe, all it is ours are mounted. Apologize for that, my video cut out a second ago. I ran out of storage space on my phone. But I was going to show you just real quick how I mounted his axe. As you saw, if you watched one of the previous videos, you see both of Emily's and my axe on our Jeeps are just mounted similar to the way it's mounted on his high lift jack is on the hood. It's kind of dark in here, but all it is just a bolt going through. So his, since it doesn't fit, I could use like a little hatchet or something, but even at that, hatchet really wouldn't fit on the side like ours fit because of the fenders on these Jeeps. So I just want to mount it to the back. All it is just a Velcro strap, and pretty basic. So just a Velcro strap I got at Menards, if I remember correctly, and so he's helping me put his helmet on there. But it's just mounted on that side, just two of them there. So pretty basic. There's not much intricate work into that at all. So there you go. His little Jeep, a little rough looking right now, and because we're prepping it for paint. And but hopefully for those of you working with your kids, and might be able to get something cool like that, and have a cool kid like me.